Hey, it's Jeremy from Jeremy.net. So, after going on and on last week about photo reference, I thought I'd show you a quick example of how I use photo reference. Little work in action. Now, unfortunately, I don't have video of me working on this because I was drawing this during my lunch at work over the week. But I was working on a page of Morningstar, latest issue, issue 6, and I was drawing this woman who, as you can see in the image, she's sort of tearing at her skin. And in the next panel, she's looking in a mirror, and you actually see her pulling this skin away from her face, revealing a demon's face underneath. All will be explained in the actual issue, so. But in the meantime, I was working on this page, and you can see a little bit of smudge and smear around the hand that's in the frame of her pulling away at her skin. This is after I fixed the drawing. I must have drawn and erased that hand like 5 times. Just getting the angle right, having the fingers in the right place, getting the actual pull of it on the skin. And I'm surprised that it took me 5 times of drawing and erasing to figure it out, because I'm thinking more and more about trying to use photo reference to fix this exact problem. And the approach I'm trying to take is, if I draw something, and erase it more than twice, that means I don't know what it looks like. Or at least I don't know it intimately enough to be able to depict it in a comic book panel. And the best solution is to either snap a quick photo of myself or something around me taking a quick pose, or to go online and see if I can find some reference of that object to draw from. So in this case, I took a quick selfie. And it's a little ridiculous, but it's this pose kind of got what I was trying to go for, even though I didn't get the sort of frightened expression that she has. Kind of the tearing of the skin, the feeling of the skin being pulled down, the finger pose, the angle at the head. This was what I was going for. And so, I just had this picture to look at on my phone while I was drawing. And after that, I went back to the picture of the hand, and it was like, that was all I needed. Now, after I finished that, again, I draw my comic layouts on vellum, and then I just flip the vellum and I do cleanups on the other side. Now, this drawing is a lot more angular because what these really are is me working out the structure. These are what I print out on blue line to ink over. So a lot of the straight lines that are in my layout pages end up being a little bit more curvy, a little bit more fluid, hopefully more dynamic in the final. Although what is interesting is that in looking at it just for doing this video, I was looking at the face, and even though her head is turned up and tilted, back away a little bit, it's not as extreme as it was in the photo that I took of myself. I may not go back and change the angle of the face, but what I definitely didn't get was, even though you can see in her ring finger pulling at the skin, that you can see the skin pulling away, I didn't get the sense of her flesh being tugged. So I'm probably going to go back in and adjust that before I ink this page, but I really want to get that sense, not just of skin being peeled away, but getting that pull in the flesh of the muscle, being pulled down as your fingers are digging in. So that's another good thing, holding on to this, your photo reference when you do it, because it'll make you realize that even when you think you got it, you don't necessarily have it. It's definitely a lot better than the way that I had the hand when I was doing this the first couple of times, because the hand is what was really killing it for me. But this, I literally do this at least once a day if I'm working on a comic page. Some days I don't necessarily get a chance to work on a comic page, but most days, whenever I'm working on a comic, there will always be one panel where maybe it's a hand, maybe it's a look of an eye, maybe it's a whole body pose, and I'll just stand up and get in the pose and set my phone. Either I'll hold my arm out and take a selfie, or if I'm working at home, I can set my computer on a timer to take a picture of me with the computer's camera. But yeah, so using more and more photo reference, and again, obviously, I'm not a woman with curly hair. It's not necessarily me trying to do something where it's highly photo referenced, like the Norman Rockwell stuff, where it looks exactly or very close to what I imagined for the final piece. I just got into the pose that was in my thumbnails and tried to get that down in the actual page. There's another comic book artist, Paulo Rivera, who frequently on his blog posts lots of pictures of his photo reference of himself along with his comic pages. And there's tons of other comic creators that do it too. So don't be afraid to look silly. That's it for now. You can check out my website, jeremy.net. That's GERIMI.net. That's where you can buy my comic books and artwork. You can also sign up for my free weekly newsletter to get a behind-the-scenes look at my creative process, updates on new comic books and artwork releases, and upcoming comic book convention appearances. Okay, go be creative.